Hey COD students, so we are wrapping up module 6, body composition. Great work there as far as the quiz. For module number 7, we're looking at nutrition. And you have obviously a reading assignment, and we're going to go back to a discussion for your participation in this module. You need to do the reading as I've mentioned, and then you're going to respond to 2 questions. So you have 2 responses to do in the discussion, and please number them number 1 and number 2, just so I can keep them in order, and so your peers can keep things in order as far as what they are reading and replying to. So the first question, or the one you're going to respond to, is what is your opinion of the section in the assigned reading regarding MyPlate, right? So MyPlate was created to help guide people on a healthy diet. So maybe just how does that fit with how you're currently eating, or maybe how does that fit with whatever diet plan or diet goals you have. And yeah, just I want you again to demonstrate to me that you understand that section of the reading. So put some time, put some thought into it, and just there's no correct answer. Just kind of give me your experience with how that relates to the ideas presented in MyPlate relate to, again, either your current diet or your dietary goals. Response number 2 is from a book that probably my favorite book on nutrition, partly because it simplifies nutrition. It's by Michael Pollan. It's called In Defense of Food, An Eater's Manifesto. And basically what his premise throughout the book is that this idea of the science of nutrition, he said, is not at a point where they can make the recommendations that they make, if that makes sense. So that's why we see so many fad diets, are popular for a bit and that people get a benefit out of, and then something else comes along. And so the quote addresses a term he comes up with, which is nutritionism. And he says that this idea of nutritionism, again, this idea that we can really have 100% grasp on the science of nutrition when perhaps we don't, brings about this dualism, as he says, where we have evil nutrients, and then we have nutrients that are going to save us, and those go in and out of style, based on the month, on the year, on the season, that type of thing. So what I want you to do is just tell me your thoughts on that quote. And if you think about your first answer with MyPlate, and they kind of break it down to how much protein you're going to have, carbs, fruits, vegetables, that type of thing. If when you were addressing that, did you maybe not align with the MyPlate because maybe you put a emphasis on one of those nutrients and you try and minimize the amount that you get of another nutrient, right? Right now, currently, if I'm judging the nutrition climate correctly, a lot of people's evil nutrient, if you will, is carbohydrates. And they're, the one that's gonna make them healthier, save them is, it might be protein, might be fruits and vegetables, that type of thing. I'm going to give you an example of kind of the relationship I've had with this dualism. Is when back in the 1990s, when I was an undergrad, I was running quite a bit and looking to kind of maximize my performance and my fitness. So I was following the latest, what I perceived as the latest trend at that time in the science of nutrition. And there was a woman, her name was Susan Powter, who was pretty popular, pretty big then, lots of books, lots of appearances on TV. And her thing was, you can eat as many carbs as you want, as much carbohydrates as you want, but just no fats. Okay? So she would say, have as much bread, have as many baked potatoes as you want, but just don't put any butter on them. And if you compare, and so that was kind of the thought then, and that was, like I said, her materials were very popular and her way of thinking were very popular. And as you can see now, I think things have drastically changed, right? If we look at people doing the keto diet or the caveman diet, that type of thing, where they're putting emphasis on other macronutrients. So again, take a look at the quote, and then just tell me kind of your thoughts on that. Do you have, as in your current diet right now, or your current diet mindset, do you have an evil nutrient that you avoid? And I'm talking a nutrient, right? Not say I avoid cupcakes, right? But a particular nutrient, or do you have a savior nutrient? Or even, so it could be macronutrient, micronutrient. Our macronutrients are our carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, whereas our micronutrients are more the vitamins and minerals. So yeah, just kind of spend some time thinking about that, and how you're currently eating, and give us your thoughts. This is all due by midnight on May 14th. So I will talk to you next time.